The message arrived at 2:17 in the morning, the kind of hour that belongs to silence and unfinished thoughts. Ayan had been staring at the ceiling, counting the cracks that looked like maps of places he would never visit. When his phone vibrated against the wooden table beside his bed, he almost ignored it. Almost. The screen glowed in the dark room, harsh and intrusive. An unknown number. A single link. He frowned, his chest tightening with a strange unease. It was ridiculous, he told himself. Just a link, probably spam. But something about it felt deliberate, like it had been sent to him and only him. He picked up the phone, his thumb hovering above the screen. For a moment, he imagined all the possible outcomes. A scam, a virus, a mistake, or something else. He clicked it. The video opened without a title, without a description, just a blurred frame that slowly sharpened into a dimly lit room. Ayan leaned closer, his breath caught halfway in his throat. It was his room. Not exactly as it was now, but close enough to make his skin crawl. The same cracked ceiling, the same faded blue walls, the same wooden table, and then he saw himself. Not the present version of him lying on the bed, but another Ayan sitting on the chair by the window. He looked older somehow, not in years, but in weight, like life had pressed harder against him. Ayan felt his fingers go cold. "What the?" he whispered. The man in the video rubbed his face, exhaustion etched into every movement. Then he looked directly into the camera. No, not the camera. At him. "If you're watching this," the man said quietly, his voice trembling in a way Ayan had never heard from himself, "then I guess you finally clicked the link." Ayan's heart slammed against his ribs. "This is going to sound insane," the man continued, "but you need to listen. Please don't close this." Ayan didn't move. He couldn't. "Tomorrow," the man said, "you're going to meet her. At the bus stop near the old bakery. She'll be holding a book. You'll notice her because she drops it." Ayan swallowed hard. "You'll help her pick it up. You'll smile. She'll smile back. And that moment, it's going to feel like everything you've ever been missing just clicks into place." Ayan's chest tightened, a strange ache blooming inside him. "Her name is Sarah," the man said softly, almost reverently, "and she's going to change your life." The room felt smaller, suffocating. "What is this?" Ayan muttered, but his voice sounded distant, like it belonged to someone else. "For a while it'll be perfect," the man continued. "Better than perfect. You'll laugh more. You'll breathe easier. You'll start believing in things again." Ayan's throat burned. "But then," the man paused, his eyes darkening, "then you'll lose her." The words hit like a physical blow. "You won't see it coming. You'll think you have time. You'll always think you have time." His voice broke slightly. "But you don't." Ayan shook his head, as if he could deny what he was hearing. "This is a chance," the man said, leaning closer. "A chance to do things differently, to say the things you didn't say, to notice the things you ignored." Ayan's breathing grew uneven. "Tomorrow when you meet her, don't hold back. Don't assume there will be another moment, because sometimes there isn't." The video flickered for a second, the image distorting. "And when she tells you about her dream," the man hesitated. "Don't laugh it off. Don't change the subject. Listen. Really listen." Ayan felt a strange heaviness settle in his chest, like a memory trying to surface. "She needed you to listen," the man whispered. Silence filled the room. "And one more thing," the man added, his voice barely audible now. "When she calls you that night, answer." The screen went black. Ayan stared at his reflection, his face pale in the faint glow of the phone. His mind raced, trying to make sense of what he had just seen. It wasn't possible. It couldn't be. And yet, the details, the room, the voice, the way the man spoke, like he was carrying a regret too heavy to bear. Ayan didn't sleep that night. Morning came too quickly, dragging with it a sense of inevitability he couldn't shake. He moved through his routine like a ghost, his thoughts looping endlessly around the video. By the time he reached the bus stop near the old bakery, his heart was pounding so hard it made his chest ache. This was ridiculous, he told himself. And then he saw her. She stood a few steps away, holding a book close to her chest. Her hair fell loosely around her shoulders, catching the morning light. There was something unguarded about her, something real. And then she dropped the book. Time seemed to slow. Ayan's body moved before his mind could catch up. He stepped forward, bending down at the same moment she did. Their hands brushed. A small electric shock ran through him. "I'm so sorry," she said quickly, her voice soft and warm. "It's okay," he replied, his voice steadier than he felt. She smiled. And just like the man in the video had said, something clicked. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't overwhelming. It was quiet, almost fragile, like a door opening somewhere deep inside him. "I'm Ayan," he said. "Sarah," she replied. The name settled in his chest like it had always belonged there. Days turned into weeks, and everything unfolded exactly as the video had predicted. The laughter, the late-night conversations, the way she made even the simplest moments feel meaningful. Ayan found himself watching her more closely, noticing the small things. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous. The way her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. He remembered what the man had said, so he listened. One evening, as they sat on the rooftop watching the city lights flicker to life, she told him about her dream of opening a small cafe. Not just any cafe, but one filled with books, music, and a quiet kind of warmth. "I know it sounds silly," she said, laughing nervously. "It doesn't," Ayan said immediately. She looked at him, surprised. It sounds perfect," he added. Her smile that night stayed with him. Everything felt right. And yet, beneath it all, a quiet fear lingered. The man's words echoed in his mind. "You'll lose her." Ayan tried to ignore it, tried to believe that maybe things would be different this time, until the night she called. It was late, just like the video had said. His phone buzzed beside him, her name lighting up the screen. For a split second, hesitation flickered through him. Then he answered. "Ayan?" Her voice was shaky, fragile. "I'm here," he said immediately, sitting up. I just needed to hear your voice." His chest tightened. "What's wrong?" There was a pause, filled with unspoken things. "I'm scared," she admitted. Ayan closed his eyes, his grip tightening on the phone. "Of what?" "Of losing this," she whispered. "Of losing you." He felt something break open inside him. "You won't," he said firmly. "I'm not going anywhere." Silence. Then a soft, relieved laugh. "Promise." "I promise." He stayed on the phone with her until she fell asleep, listening to the rhythm of her breathing, grounding himself in the moment. Days passed, then weeks, and nothing happened. No loss, no tragedy. Ayan started to believe that he had changed things. Until the day she didn't show up. He waited at their usual spot, his phone clutched tightly in his hand. Calls went unanswered, messages unread. A cold dread spread through him. Hours later he got the call. An accident. The words felt distant, unreal. By the time he reached the hospital, it was too late. Ayan stood outside the room, his legs refusing to move. He had done everything right. He had listened. He had answered. He had stayed. So why? Tears blurred his vision. And then he remembered something. The video? He pulled out his phone with trembling hands and opened the link again. The video was different. The man on the screen looked at him with the same heavy eyes. "I guess you're here again," he said softly. Ayan's breath hitched. "I told you this would happen," the man continued. "Not because you did something wrong, but because some things aren't meant to be prevented." Ayan shook his head, anger and grief crashing inside him. "Then what was the point?" he whispered. The man's expression softened. "The point was never to save her," he said gently. "The point was to love her. Fully, without holding back, without waiting." Ayan felt his knees weaken. "You don't get to choose how long someone stays," the man said. "But you do get to choose how you show up while they're here." Tears streamed down Ayan's face. "You gave her everything she needed," the man added. "And she gave you everything you didn't know you needed." The video began to fade. "And that's what matters." The screen went black. Ayan stood there for a long time, the weight of it all settling into something quieter, something deeper. He walked into the room. She looked peaceful. For a moment, he just stood there, memorizing every detail, every line, every trace of the person who had changed him in ways he couldn't fully understand. Then he stepped closer. "I kept my promise," he whispered. And for the first time since the call, he didn't feel broken. He felt full. Because even though she was gone, the love they had shared remained, not as a wound but as something living, something real, something that had changed him forever. And as he stood there, he realized that some links don't lead to answers. They lead to understanding. And sometimes that's enough.